Hi Sag, this is your reading for January 2019. Thank you for watching. Please set aside anything that you're doing so you're not multitasking and all of your presence is here with me for the reading. I want to make sure you get the most out of your time. So please, while I'm shuffling, take a moment to settle into a comfortable posture and focus on your breathing for a couple of moments. Each time you exhale, relax and release any tension that you might be feeling and slowly come into a calm, quiet center. Take a moment here to check in with your higher self and your guides. Ask them to reach out to my higher self and my guides so that we can create a feedback loop of information to get really clear and relevant messages that are especially tailored for you. Okay. Well, there's quite a few pentacles here in the reading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five pentacles cards in the main spread. In the bottom of the deck, you have the 8 of pentacles. So, I would say my first impression is that this reading is mostly about your work and also your finances and your physical resources and your living environment, your home. So, excuse me. The center of the reading, you have the Chariot upright, crossed by the Ace of Wands. So, and you have another Ace here in the readings. It's in the reverse position in the outcome with the Sun. So first impression about that is that the Chariot is suggesting that there is a need for more drive, I'm hearing, personal drive, like your willpower is something that you need to bring to the forefront during this time. And use your enthusiasm and your willpower to channel energy directly into the things that are important and meaningful right now at this time. Because the Ace of Wands here as a crossing card is suggesting that your challenge at this time, or the opportunity available for you, is this energy that is kind of pending, which is a kind of potential or an opportunity to start something new. And it's interesting that you have, after the central cards of the reading there, this quadrant here refers to your energy and describes kind of where you are right now. And you have the Two of Wands here with the Devil. So it's saying here that there is a need to make a decision around something that will, I'm getting that it's something about a long-term project that will bring prosperity, something that you are committed to. But there's some energy here with the Devil. I'm feeling that there's something here around, I'm hearing competitiveness. I'm reading the Devil here in a beneficial way, in the sense that the Devil card is kind of a representative of the astrological sign of Capricorn. And I'm not an astrologer, but I do watch astrology channels, and I'm very interested to learn more. So I do know that at this time there is what's called a stellium in the Capricorn sign, which means that there's a lot of planets in that area of the sky. So, and given that the Devil card represents Capricorn, what I'm feeling here energetically is that this is representing how much energy and focus there is on what's the word? The things that the Capricorn sign represent, right? So, and obviously Capricorn is an earth sign, and it has a lot to do with, you know, the application of willpower, of you know, physical resources and enthusiasm and a good attitude towards actually getting in and doing the grunt work, like the actual hard work of executing the physical tasks required to actually create and manifest something. So I think the Two of Wands here with the Chariot and the Ace of Wands there are sort of all suggesting the same thing, which is that You need to choose to actually invest your time and energy in whatever it is that you are inspired by and what you feel enthusiastic about, and commit completely to that thing in order to make things happen in a physical, tangible way in the world. There is also a bit of a caveat here with the devil card. I feel that there is some energy. As I said earlier, the word competitiveness came to mind. And competitiveness is not necessarily a bad thing at all. I think competitiveness is misappropriated word in our culture and given a kind of, it has a bad taste to it. But, when you're being competitive, it's forcing you to lift your game and rise up to kind of be the best that you can be in order to present what you're presenting in a way that makes you, if you're in business, it makes you the better choice compared to your peers, let's say. So, but I would say with that there is an element there with regards to competitiveness and with regards to being, driven towards kind of improving on your skills and improving on your whatever it is that you're presenting as your product or your service. If we're talking about business here, in a way that you always maintain integrity in everything that you do, and that you're not edging out your competition by doing anything shady, let's say. Now, in this quadrant, we have the Temperance and the Three of Pentacles reversed, and this area of the reading represents energy in your environment or people around you. So here, I would say, the Three of Pentacles is a card that speaks about teamwork and collaboration and working together on projects. Seeing it here in reverse with the Temperance, and given what I just said there about the devil, I would say that there's something here around making sure that the people that are in your team or the people that you work with are all on the same page and everyone understands the end goal, and that you're all working towards the same vision, and that there is real clarity around that. And perhaps the message here is that maybe there needs to be a little bit more communication to ensure that there is clarity and understanding amongst all of the members of the team that are working together, to make sure that everyone is on the same page and everyone's working towards the same goal and the same. There's this kind of an energetic match that everyone's kind of vibing on in the same way. Let's see if there's anything else there. It's interesting here that you have these two kings in the reading, and they're both in reverse. I'm going to show you that. You have the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups here in your reading, both in reverse. The King of Cups is in the position of recent past, or the energy you're coming into the reading. And the King of Pentacles is the crowning card. I feel that it feels a little bit like there's an energy of uncertainty, and a little bit of an energy of like emotional uncertainty, and a bit of like it feels like worry, a little bit of worry and anxiety. And this King of Pentacles, I feel, as the crowning card here, can be representative of, like the kind of, if you are like taking big risks, for example, like if we're talking about something here where like with your work, maybe you started a new business, or you have some kind of like, the feeling is around risk, that there is some anxiety and emotional concern, worry, stress about the risk that you're undertaking, or some kind of, risky kind of gamble, or something along those lines, where maybe there isn't like a total certainty with an outcome. And that's also kind of confirmed here with the Ace of Pentacles in the outcome position of your reading with the Sun. The Sun is lending a little bit of positivity and hopefulness and happiness to this feeling I'm getting about like uncertainty and about the kind of nervousness that comes with sort of taking a risk. The Sun is lending its kind of optimism to the energy of that, and kind of suggesting that you don't need to worry so much, but rather just kind of continue to, like, with your head down, invest your energy in ways that is very consistent and measured and deliberate and intentional and focused and humble, with integrity and clarity, making sure communication is clear across the board around everything that's happening with all the team members and your clients, etc. And then, yeah, in this quadrant here is the hopes and fears. So you have the Two of Swords in reverse with the Four of Pentacles upright. And interestingly, as I said earlier, you have two aces in the reading. You also have two twos in the reading. And in both cases, there's one upright and one reversed. So, again, it does suggest that you're at the early stages of something, and that there is sort of like, again, that Two of Swords there with the Four of Pentacles does also kind of feel reminiscent of what I just described around this King of Pentacles being in reverse, where there is some kind of anxiety and stress or concern perhaps around a risk that's being taken, and the kind of the sensation of like the uncertainty of the outcome. And the Four of Pentacles in the upright position there is saying, like, there is this kind of like kind of a kind of clenching feeling of like the nervousness and the stress that comes with the uncertainty. I could just drop the card here, hang on. That's the Devil. So I would say with that, again, as I mentioned earlier, the Sun is lending this energy of kind of support and confidence and hopefulness and positivity to that energy. The same would apply to what I just said there. There is a kind of benefic energy that's coming into the reading with all of this kind of, along with the feeling of uncertainty and risk, there is a feeling of positivity and not exactly certainty, but definitely an affirmative kind of energy of like giving you kind of a confidence that you should move forward with, and to be able to set aside your anxiety and worry about what it is that you're doing, and just focus on, as I said, working hard, being deliberate with your tasks and with your efforts, staying on point, clear communication, humility, integrity, and consistency. I think that's the key. Those are some key words here in this reading for you with regards to whatever it is in the physical, tangible world that you're working on. And it does feel like there is something to do here with a new venture or some type of project that is kind of at its early stages. So let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Again, you had the Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Wands in reverse, Two of Cups upright, and the Five of Swords in reverse. There's also the Strength card here. I'll take that. I feel that here it's talking about, you have this Queen of Wands in the reverse with the Eight of Pentacles. I feel that this is the kind of energy of like the entrepreneurialism, of like the enthusiasm that you would bring to like an idea or a concept or something new that you're kind of manifesting into the physical world with the Eight of Pentacles there, and like the Queen of Wands would be that kind of ideas, conceptualizing, enthusiasm, kind of fresh, fiery energy, and then the Eight of Pentacles is the energy of actually executing those ideas and concepts in the physical world with deliberate and consistent, steady, humble, heads down kind of approach. And the Queen of Wands in the reverse there, again, it kind of feels very similar to what I described earlier with these two Kings in reverse, where there's a little bit of anxiety and nervousness and perhaps some uncertainty that comes along with the kind of risk taking that it feels like there is here. But again, it's like, I don't feel that you have the Strength card here alongside of it. I feel that there isn't necessarily, like, I'm not feeling like there's any cards here that would lead me to want to say to you, you're in trouble, like pull out. It's not that kind of a feeling. This is just kind of like the normal type of nervousness and stress and anxiety that would come along with starting anything new or working in any way where there's some type of risk involved with something that you're kind of birthing into the world that's sort of new. So I'm not mentioning that to bring you any kind of reason to exponentiate your fear and worry and anxiety. It's the opposite. The point is to say to you that there is positive energy here of affirmative, beneficial, benefic energy of like hopefulness and positivity and confidence that you're being sent from the universe. So don't feel worried. Just keep working in a steady and positive way with consistency and like deliberate effort. And just keep striving to move forward in ways where You know, like I said earlier, everyone's on board in the same way, that communication is clear, and that if there is any issues within the team where it feels like there is some disparity between team members, or somebody's not quite feeling like the vibe's not matching, it doesn't quite work right, then address that in a very what's the word? Just boss up, handle it. Deal with people that need to be dealt with. Don't be afraid of speaking up if you see some issues that are kind of like leaking into the situation. Handle those things as swiftly as possible with direct and clear, compassionate and kind communication. And just make sure you don't let things get too far out of hand before you address them. That's the message there. Now, what else is here was the Two of Cups with the Five of Swords in reverse. And I feel that this is again relating to, similar to what I just described there, with if there's some team members, or maybe it's your actual, maybe it's your business partner, or this could be a separate message for people for whom this reading could be about a relationship, like a romantic relationship. There is something here around communication, where it is that it's like overcoming the need to argue or win a debate, and just like stop going over the same points if it's not getting anywhere. If the issue that you're addressing is just if you're not kind of finding that space where like everyone gets the chance to have their voice, and you are actually able to kind of receive and share information in ways where you can actually kind of conclude an issue. You know, if you're just going over and over the same things and it's not getting anywhere, just leave it alone. Just let it be. You can come back to it at another time, unless it's something that's really, really, as I said, vital to be addressed immediately. Like if you are the boss in this situation and there's some kind of issue with somebody that is kind of perhaps trying to take authority where it's not their place to be, just take care of it, handle it, and don't be afraid to kind of speak up and use your authority in the situation. But if this is a romantic issue that we're talking about, if this is your partner we're talking about, like if this issue with communication, Five of Swords reversed, is with regard to your intimate romantic relationship, then that's a different story. That needs to be handled in a different way. But what I'm talking about here is something more like where you are if you are the boss or the manager, and there's some issue with a team member that is kind of acting out a little bit or whatever, and you need to kind of communicate in a certain way where you need to sort of press a little bit with your authority. That's what I'm saying there, is like handle it if that's the case. But if this is about a romantic relationship where you and your partner are equals, you cannot do that. You have to handle it in a more equal and respectful way. It's different. And then strength here, I feel, as a kind of final summary of this reading, I feel like it's kind of going hand in hand with the Sun card, where we're talking about, again, just like benefic energies that the universe is sharing with you now to give you confidence and make you feel hopeful and positive about what you're going through if you're having a little bit of a tough time right now. The Strength card and the Sun there, I feel, together are just providing a little bit more fire energy of hopefulness, positivity, just light and love, and I'm hearing freedom as well. So I'm hearing also now just to enjoy the process and make sure you're having fun along the way, even if it is feeling stressful. You've got to find ways to make it light and fun and enjoyable for not just you but other people involved, because that's a key, I think, to the success here, is that if you can bring laughter and light and fun and enjoyment into work that's arduous and hard and ongoing, that will be a very key component to having a successful result. Alright, Sag, that's the general reading. I'm going to take the Voyager deck now and shuffle again to give you a higher octave reading. While I shuffle, please send your energy over, blast the deck with your energy so I can get a clear reading for you. Now the higher deck is the higher octave reading is designed to provide a little bit more insight into what's happening on a karmic and spiritual level, to give us a little bit more insight on what it is that we're actually dealing with in a cosmic way, beyond the mundane. to hopefully provide insight on what is the best way to move forward to make the most of the opportunities available to us for our growth and learning and expansion. So send your energy into the deck and we will get some clear messages for you. One more. Sun again, in reverse as well. Crossed by the number 10 from the Major Arcana, Wheel of Fortune. Really powerful. 8 of Wands. The Moon reversed. Justice upright. In this deck it's called Balance. Then you have Death in reverse. So far we have already quite a few Major Arcanas. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 out of the 6 cards. Hermit, also Major Arcana. This is the 7 of Worlds in reverse. 5 of Crystals. It's the 5 of Swords. It's the same card we've had here. This is the 7 of Crystals. Sage of Crystals. One second. Ace of Worlds. Here. And then 6 of Worlds reversed and the 4 of Worlds reversed. So again, a lot of Pentacles cards coming into the spread. The Worlds obviously refers to the Pentacles from the Rider-Waite deck. So yeah, we have the 4 of Worlds, the 6 of Worlds, the Ace of Worlds, 7 of Worlds. Quite a few Pentacles cards here. Okay, let's get into this reading. Now, what I feel is here is that at the center of the reading you have, as I said, the Sun in reverse crossed by the Wheel of Fortune. As I said, you had the Sun in reverse here in the position of your outcome in the previous reading. And here it is in this spread at the center of the reading. So what does it mean? Well, I feel that, again, crossed with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel that this is a time where you are really kind of channeling in your energy in a way that is kind of invoking a new beginning for yourself. That's what I feel the Fortune card is saying, the Wheel of Fortune here. Obviously, the Wheel of Fortune can be read in regards to like your karma, your prosperity, la la la. But how I'm seeing it here is that this is a time where you are specifically channeling and driving your energy forward and through you in a specific way so that you can actually really deliberately affect your destiny. It's a very positive feeling, a very empowered feeling of you kind of taking matters into your own hands. You know, maybe you've been kind of trying different things and stuff and maybe it hasn't worked out. And in recent months, recent times, you've made a decision really clearly that you want to do something, you want to try something, you want to manifest or invoke or kind of channel your energy in a very specific way to create an outcome that you see. Like you have an end game in sight or a specific, desire or wish or vision for something that you want to create. And this is describing you channeling your energy specifically into that thing for your life, for your future, for your outcome. And so this central axis of the reading describes what's in your unconscious mind, which is what you don't know, and what's in your conscious mind, which is what you know. And here you have the Moon in reverse, and the crowning card is the 8 of Wands, which is called Harmony. So how I'm reading this, or how I would see this, is that you have, as I said, it's a really strong desire, and your will is very activated right now in a way that is kind of highly potentiated, meaning you are kind of activating and moving forward in a way that is kind of deliberately moving with like your embodying like your highest potential, let's put it that way. Yet at the foundation here with this Moon card in reverse, I feel that part of this process is going to bring things into your awareness that you may not know about yourself. And that could be what is some of the challenging stuff that you're dealing with, which was what we discussed in the previous reading. I think there is, with this like highest potential invocation of your like, you're working with integrity. You're coming from a really good place. You have a very like best intention type of attitude with what you're doing. Like you're definitely moving forward and making decisions and activating and envisioning your dreams and hopes and desires and in a way to self-actualize very specific ideas and visions and dreams. But what you may not be aware of is that in that process, things are going to come to your awareness that are deeply buried in your subconscious that you are going to learn about, that will help you in a way to shift in order to really embody and fully manifest this thing that you're working on. There are some things that are hidden to you right now that you are going to become aware of that you will have to face. And some of those things may not be comfortable or pretty or easy to deal with, but it's a healing process that you're in. And this physical manifestation of some type of project or business or whatever is actually a very healing force that you are in right now, where, as I said, things that are hidden to you, things that are buried in your subconscious. And what I mean by that is things like patterns of behavior or unconscious types of things that have been playing out maybe in different ways in the past that you may realize now in this specific event that's unfolding. You may start to actually understand more deeply where those things come from and how to break those patterns of unconscious behavior that have in the past created specific outcomes or results or I don't know how to describe it. I hope it's clear. I hope you're understanding if you don't understand what the words are that I'm saying, just try to feel the energy that I'm describing. So it's a healing force where it is that you're actually overcoming and breaking through some old patterns of behavior that in the past you may have always been coming from the same place that you're coming from now, where it is that I'm describing this kind of energy of best intentions and trying to do the right thing and doing work, like having good ideas and channeling them into the physical world, but they may not have actualized in the way that you thought was possible. In this specific event that's unfolding right now, you are going to be able to see what those things were that may have prevented you from having success in your endeavors in the past. Okay, that felt like it came out clearly. So, and in the same regard, in this axis here running from the past to the present or the future, and this is the unconscious to the conscious. So the way I read this, the way I've designed these spreads is that the central axis here is kind of more of a like spiritual connection to like source, and this is more of like the earthly plane of manifestation. Doesn't really matter. All the cards kind of combine to create a synergy of energy that I'm describing. But what I'm talking about here from the recent past to the future is a very similar thing that I just described. So here you have what's called balance in this deck. In the Rider-Waite deck, this card is called Justice, and here in the outcome card, you have Death. So essentially, it's what I just said, but I'm going to try to find another way to say it to kind of embody the energy of these cards. I feel that there is a major transformation happening where through the physical manifestation or execution of ideas and in your physical realm of worldly living, there are energetic imprints of previous experiences that have left certain kind of residual energetic imprints in you, let's say, that are playing out as patterns. And these patterns are, you could use the word karma, okay? So this card relates to the Justice card from the Rider-Waite deck. And in a more kind of spiritual context, you could say that justice refers to karma in the sense that there may be consequences that are still unresolved from the past, let's say, that are being unraveled. And in this process of executing your idea and your vision in this specific event that we're talking about, because it's quite a big energy that I'm feeling, I think for a lot of you there has been sort of some, as I said, previous attempts at different types of things that may not have worked out the way that you thought that they could. And in this specific time now, so many factors have come together in a kind of earthly meets cosmic way, so that you're actually able to resolve and uncover and heal certain types of patterns from the past that are still hidden in the unconscious right now. But in this journey that you're on right now, you are going to be able to actually see what these things are in a way that brings them into your conscious mind so that you can address them, resolve them, and release them, so that you won't have to keep dealing with these unsatisfying outcomes. Okay. So, in this process of what I've just described, where things will come to light with regards to patterns that are currently buried in your unconscious mind, but that through your process of this physical endeavor that you're undertaking, those things will come into your conscious mind for you to be able to resolve and heal them. There is this process here where you'll be working with the energy of the hermit and the sage of crystals to find clarity and understanding and feel empowered by these things that will be revealed, that are becoming extracted from the unconscious mind and being brought to the conscious mind. You'll be able to use the archetype of the hermit to shine light, also with the moon in reverse here too. These two cards are kind of working together to explain how information that's buried in the unconscious mind you can become aware of them by using the power of the hermit to shine light, to kind of go quietly within and listen, to find understanding, and using compassion, sage of crystals, to uncover, resolve, extract, release these buried treasures that are in the unconscious mind of patterns that you've been playing out based on an imprint that have occurred from events in the past. And with that energy, you'll be able to make breakthroughs where you can create new systems, new imprints of power of manifestation, let's say, in a way that is unhindered and unimpeded by any kind of residual memories that are in the unconscious from events in the past where there was any kind of trauma or it doesn't even have to be around any kind of traumatic event, but we're talking about some kind of pattern that was imprinted from events in the past where there was just like a moment of a reaction that occurred that kind of established a sort of template for events in the future. And what it is that we're doing now is going back to those imprints, shining a light on them to release and resolve and allow emotions to emerge out of them, to free us, to free yourself from repeating patterns that result in unsatisfying outcomes where things don't work out as they could because of some type of old energy of a pattern that's in the unconscious mind. I hope that's making sense. And as a result, you'll be able to kind of have a greater ability to actually manifest the things that you want with a successful outcome, with an unrestricted or what's the word? Whatever resistance is there, or whatever energy you kind of come up against, where there's any kind of could be like a self-sabotaging kind of energy, or it could manifest in the form of people that feel similar to other people you've dealt with before, where the same issue is being handled. I think that's clear. I hope you understand what that means. Now, here in the position of the hopes and fears, we have two repeating cards from the earlier spread as well, which is the Five of Crystals. In this deck, it's called the Five of Crystals. In the Rider-Waite deck, it's the Five of Swords. And we also have the Six of Worlds, which we had. I do remember it from the previous reading. Anyway, not important. So, what I feel this is regarding is, again, overcoming any kind of resistance or physical or non-physical energy that is kind of like where you feel like you're pressing up against something that causes a kind of tension or resistance or a kind of blockage. There is an ability here through this process to overcome those things, to be able to release old patterns of karmic kind of repetition in order to create new patterns that are more synergistic, more Synergy is a good word for it. I think you're creating new patterns with people where you're overcoming whatever's like subconscious resistances you have been kind of embodying in the past, and overcoming those things by realizing, just simply by realizing. And it's important to note with that there's no need to when you gain those understandings, when you receive those impulses or illuminations from your unconscious mind, where you see with clarity what it is that you've been doing that has caused that pattern to be repeated before, it's important to understand that there's no need to go back to the past to kind of feel bad or have any kind of regret or any kind of sadness or any kind of anything about events from the past. This is just simply about awakening and illuminating the truth of what is actually happening in order to move forward with clear, non-resistant, no blockages, no hindrances, just clear moving forward with the intention that you're working with to actually create and manifest what it is that you have envisioned. And I'll repeat that because I think it's important. I think it's really vital to understand that there's no need to kind of, when you have these illuminations, there's no need to kind of go back in your memory to the past and try to dig up old emotions and old experiences and feel regret and feel bad about anything that's happened in the past, because it is what it is. And you are where you are now, and this is the moment to actually have those revelations and reveal and uncover those hidden treasures, as I said, that are in the unconscious mind, the subconscious mind, for you to actually have just clarity and understanding about energy and how you're working with energy, in order to kind of just move forward now with clarity and create better synergy and greater harmony in your environment, in your efforts to actually create the things that you want to create, and coming out of those things successfully. And the last cards here are the 7 of Crystals in reverse with the 4 of Worlds in reverse. Again, you had the 4 of Crystals there. Sorry, the 4 of Pentacles there. That's the 4 of Worlds. Now, I feel that this is, again, kind of repetitive. What I see here is that there is a kind of... again, it's kind of like a... I'm hearing establish. So you're wanting to establish a new template of moving forward now, given what you've understood from these revelations or illuminations of patterns that you've become aware of that have been playing out, which have resulted in unsuccessful and unsatisfactory kind of outcomes. And here it's saying you're establishing a new foundation for moving forward in ways that are actually much more heightened, because your awareness has become heightened. And it's just about greater awareness overall. It's just about greater awareness. I think the Sage of Crystals here with the Hermit is very important cards in this reading. I think the Sage of Crystals is talking about, again, just that the clarity of mind and the understanding that comes from receiving these illuminations about what has been buried in the unconscious mind around certain patterns that you've been playing out again and again in your history, and just simply receiving the blessings of those illuminations coming to the conscious mind without any need for regret or mourning for the past or feeling bad about how things played out in previous attempts at different things, and just move forward with greater clarity and understanding, with more compassion, with more wisdom. And yeah, embodying a new state of a new template of you practicing a kind of style of working with elemental forces, life force, or whatever, however you want to call it, to create and manifest the things that you have envisioned for yourself. But the way I'm feeling this energy is actually much bigger than just you. I feel like there's more. This is like a bigger energy of like how the essence of you and the things that you envision and the things that you want to create, and how that affects a wider community. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. Man of Wands reversed, Child of Wands upright, the Fool reversed, and the 9 of Crystals. Again, more crystals cards. what is here is I feel like the word I'm getting is understanding. And it's again a little bit more repetition of what I've already said, but I feel that it's a really important thing to absorb out of this reading is to realize that when you do have understanding and clarity about this information that is being revealed from the unconscious mind to show you the patterns, I'm hearing trigger. What does it mean? I guess it's important here with the Fool. The Fool is here in reverse, which I would like to see it in the upright position. Perhaps it's just an indicator that there is still some clarification to do and some like tying up of loose ends in regards to actually being able to kind of move forward with this energy in a way where you actually are in the Fool in the upright position, where you do kind of have this energy of having been through a lot of stuff and having felt very challenged and feeling very in some situations maybe even distressed, but actually being able to come through all that and feel a sense of having shed all the baggage of any pain of the experiences of the past, and actually be able to just embody a sense of moving forward with trust, with hopefulness, with optimism, with enthusiasm, without the weight of any of the baggage of the experiences of the past coming forward. And here, Nine of Crystals, I feel it's talking about just using this time to be really focused with laser precision and just really dedicate all of your energy and your efforts and your time to really understand what it is that your unconscious mind is revealing to you. And like for some of you, I feel like this could be a little bit of a challenging time, because there is like a feeling of, when you understand when you realize that you've actually been the one responsible, like in the past, things didn't work out and you might have been able to kind of move on from difficult circumstances and have this residual feeling of like, oh, it didn't work out because such and such, or that person did that, or whatever. I think in this situation, you might come to realize that the responsibility that you need to take, or that you need to understand or embody with regards to events from the past, in order to actually successfully move through what you're actually working on right now, and in a way that allows you to have that sun energy success. There is this excuse me, there is this element here of some of the discomfort that comes with understanding that it was you, that you are the one that you need to take responsibility for things in the past that didn't work out, but in the best way. As I said, it's really important not to mourn for the past, or feel guilty, or feel bad, or regretful, or any of that. It's just about a moment of clarity, of a revelation, of an illumination, of an understanding. And then you can just leave all of the past behind and move forward. But for some of you, I think you might find this a little bit challenging, but I offer you my support, and I think you're on the cusp of some really big energy moving into you right now. Like there's such a big feeling of like a shedding, a shedding of the past, a shedding of old ways. Of course, you're still you and you will always be you, but there's like this like higher vibration of you that is being ushered into this next part of your life, with this like kind of moment of revelation where you actually understand something quite big. This is something quite big for a lot of you. This is something quite big. So you're gleaning a type of understanding here that you may have waited lifetimes to understand, to arrive to this point where all the factors come together in the right way, where you can actually receive this type of illumination. So stay focused. That's what the Nine of Crystals is saying. Really stay focused. Stay in it, even when it's really uncomfortable and you might feel like you just want to run away and like go and just be on your own and like shut everything out. Just stay with it and stay focused, and be available to the energies that are being revealed and illuminations that are coming to you, and just be working with that energy that comes, and understand that this is for your highest good, and it's clearing the way. This is a real big clearance. It's like a big sweeping clearance of the past for you to be able to move forward into the future without a lot of baggage. You're leaving a lot of baggage behind with this one. So I offer you my energetic support. Feel free to reach out and contact me through the comment section or through Instagram if you have any comments or questions. I feel that that's it for your reading, Sag. I hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Thank you for your subscription. It means a lot to have you here. And do watch that again, because I feel like there was a lot there. And I look forward to seeing you in the next month's readings.